Namaste students. This is going to be a last session on our poem, The Lake of Isle Innisfree by WBX. In our first three sessions, we have completed the poem as far as the text is concerned. But as I promised that in this session, I will try to find or try to usher some deeper explanations, profound thoughts related to this poem. Rather, this is the process. You can talk that this is a research. We have to search. Research does not mean that you are doing PhD all the time. It's not related to PhD or MPhil. Research means you are searching and researching, and ultimately you are trying to get the real piece, the real crux. So, if we read the poem between the lines, it's a technical term, between the lines. You have to read everything between the lines. So meticulously you are taking care, you are microscoping everything so that it takes you to a different level of signification, and that's our aim. Let's see what significance we can fetch in this particular poem. I will arise and go now, and go to Innisfree. Go to Innisfree. First he talks about arise. Maybe that he is in a slumber. Slumber because of boredom. Because of monotonous nature of life. Humdrum nature of life. There is no excitement. So ultimately I will arise first. Now I will go. It's a decision that he is going to take at this stage. And go to. So this preposition to, it talks about two words. Right now he has taken a decision about his destination, that's going to be Innisfree. And check, Innisfree is a place in Ireland. But how carefully he has chosen the term or the name of the place, that is Innisfree. If you divide it, there are three words, therefore it's going to be a compound word. Compound word means amalgamation of two or more words, and ultimately it makes one. Even though it's going to be a proper noun, but still it's a case of compound word. Innisfree. There are three words embedded, connected, stringed together. stringed, stringed together. First word is in, in, Panthoshala, is free. In is free, and ultimately it makes one place, that is Innisfree. That's a dream place for the poet. Even though he wants to make a cabin there, but it's going to be a palace. So cabin is going to be a palace for the poet in a place called Innisfree. Innisfree. Now we have to understand, rather we need to denote the word in. What's the implication? In is roadside places, or you can say some gardens where you can take little bit rest because you are in a long journey. Life is like this. So inn is such a place where you can take food, where you can take little bit rest, and you can go for your destination. You can start your journey afresh. That's inn. So it's the spirit of rejuvenation, resurrection. You are totally dried up. You are totally exhausted. You are fully patched up. At that point of time, in gives you that inner stability so that you can move on. That's the quality of in. So perhaps you can have a connection with this about Yeats's life. He is so much bored. He was so much palpitated. He was so much exasperated that somehow he wants to go to that inn that's going to be his Innisfree. So the journey of his life, he wants to take a little bit rest. Again, he has to come back. And I told, to be settled in that particular place, it's not possible because you have to fight for your existence all the time. Right now, if I get really bored, exhausted in my city life, I can go back to my village. I can visit Sikkim. I can visit Himalayas. But ultimately, I cannot stay long. I need to come back because there is always a connection with root. Who will feed you there? So it's going to be a time of relaxation. It's a time to restore energy and spirit so that the rest of the time, rest 6 months, you can work with your full energy using that fuel. That is and that in is free. So wonderful selection. So, and the poets are very choosy. They look for words. They sacrifice their days and nights to find out only word. So much meticulous, rather they are so much fastidious about their words. Because words carry their emotions. So they worship words. That's a quality of a good poet. And a small cabin built there. I already shared it's going to be a small one. Even though it's small, but what matters much is your peace, is your jubilation, is your excitement, is your exhilaration. These are the words. There is a famous line in Bangla, চার দেওয়ালের মধ্যে নানান দৃশ্যতে সাজিয়ে নিয়ে দেখি বাহির বিশ্বকে. চার দেওয়ালের মধ্যে নানান দৃশ্যকে. Even though you are chained, you are imprisoned, you have constructed only four walls. But it's your imagination that can tinge, that can make everything colorful. Rabindranath Tagore also said in the same intonation, if you listen to one of his songs, আমার মনের কোণের বাইরে, আমার মনের কোণের বাইরে আমি জানলা খুলে চাই রে. মনের কোণের বাইরে. This is your cage. Even this bony part, it's a small cabin where your life exists, survives. And janla, what are the janlas over here? These two eyes. Through your eyes you are looking at the world and you are actually grabbing, you are groping rather some beautiful elements, energy, so that you can invigorate, valorize your life. So he wants to make a small cabin. It doesn't make any difference. Even though it's not a mansion, it's not a palace. But peace will make this small place a palace. 9 bean rows will I have there, hive of honeybee. Such a charming thing, buzzing sound of honeybee. ঘরেতে ভ্রমর এলো গুনগুনিয়ে. So that buzzing sound will be a music, a rhythm, even though it's very small. And live alone in the bee Lord glade. And it's going to be a beautiful place to live in. In the next stanza, he begins with and. It's a conjunction. And is conjunction. I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow. Wonderful piece of imagination, tinged with metaphor, personification. Morning is seen, that morning is a figure who unveils darkness. It's a case of personification. If you read Shelley has also given almost similar expression in a poem called The Moon. And Shelley is thinking the moon is coming out when darkness emerges in this world. Light is totally evaporated. It is dispersed right now. And darkness is coming. And with darkness, moon is also getting ready to be present in this world. So moon is also coming, unveiling darkness. And ultimately moon comes out. That the first line talks about. And moon is compared to an old lady. And just like old lady comes out with a veiled face, similarly moon is also coming like this. You can see the strange connection between the poets. Ultimately they are talking about nature. Nature has that beauty. Nature means attraction. Nature means peace. Nature means beauty. It's the other name, synonymous. Cricket sings. Again, Keats talks about cricket. When nothing is there, cricket is giving you that pinching tone, pulsation, and you feel that no, you are not alone in this world. Somebody is there waiting and somebody is still making you alive. When darkness emerges, there is nobody. There is no existence, no presence of throbbing life. Nobody is there, but still nature is there and it's waiting for you. So you have to wait for this. You have to have an ear. You have to sensitize your senses to feel it. You have to embrace nature. You have to hug nature. You have to incorporate nature within yourself. Then only nature responds. There are midnights all the glimmer, noon a purple glow, and evening full of linnets' wings. And the last stanza again he begins with repetition. I shall arise and go now. Now go to, in this last stanza, he did not talk about that he wants to go to Innisfree because it's already shared. He has fixed his destination. He has made up his mind that he's going to Innisfree, and that's his place. Place of desire, place of dream, place of nourishment and cherishment. For always, night and day. Every time, anytime, instantly he can go. That's the beauty, that's the attraction. It is luring all the time. So he doesn't want to linger his longing. He doesn't want to linger. Means lingering actually means you are prolonging. So there is no sense of procrastination in the mind of WBX. Procrastination, the word is very much famous in Shakespeare's Hamlet. I hear the lake water lapping. What an use. I told that poets are very choosy. They search. So lapping, lap, you know what's lap. So they are overlapping. Waves are overlapping with each other. And it creates a noise, rather sound. And that's the quality of music. Separately, if you listen to tabla, maybe not so sweet. Separately, if you listen violin, may not be so sweet. But when all these sounds, all these noises are synchronized, are composed, there is a song. A song that can soothe your soul, wretched soul, distressed soul, dilapidated soul. While I stand on the roadway, so these are the symbols or representations of urbanization, modern society, that everything is there, only structure is there, but peace is missing, happiness is missing. Now, and this he has felt inside. It is not an imposed feeling on the poet. He has felt it inside. It's the inner voice. Somebody who is telling, no, it's not a place. Go somewhere else. I want to be free. I want to be inundated with nature. Somebody tells, and the poet is responding to that call. It's a call of nature. Nature is calling you. And you have to respond to that call. With this, the poem gets over. Now, it's a task of the readers to bring some extra denotations, annotations, and connotations so that we can enrich our knowledge. The poem talks about his childhood days. Innisfree is actually a place where there is a sweet memory of childhood. Childhood is the most beautiful phase, the divine phase, celestial phase of human life. If you ask an old man that these many phases already you have crossed, tell me which one phase that you want to retreat. Perhaps 90%, if not 10%, the answer will be childhood days. Now you have to ask a question, why childhood days? What's the speciality? What's the speciality that everybody desires to go back to that particular phase? What's there in a child? Answer is very simple. A child is a mixture of the purity, both physical and mental. Mentally you are innocent, you are not complicated. And physically you are strong. If you want to jump, you can jump. If you fall down, you will be hurt, definitely. And it will take minimum time to recover. But at that stage, old age, it's not possible. So you are mentally pure, physically also you are pure. So you are getting strong responses from these two particular sides. Because if you talk about Gita talks about two sharirs. Sharir. Drabha sharir, that is physical body, and bhab sharir, that is mental body. So a child is at its peak as far as physical body and mental body are concerned. So it's a lovely place. So childhood has been repeated in so many poems. It's going to be one of the prime themes of each and everybody. Even though we are not able to compose anything, we always feel that we should go back to that phase. where everything is unpolluted, untouched, everything is contemptuous right now. That's the problem. If you read Fernhill, there is a poet who talks about his childhood days and he wants to go back, he wants to visit. He has mentioned a wonderful phrase that echoing green. He wants to go back to that green phase of his life. I could remember one poem that we had read in our syllabus, most probably in class 8 or 9. There was a poem by Joshimuddin and the name of the poem is Nimantron. Where he says, Tumi jabe bhai, jabe amader grame. It's an invitation. They're so much bored and patched up with the mundane world, monotonous world, that he is actually inviting other students or other fellow people, other neighbors, that Tumi jabe. That much earnest desire and invitation it is. Next, I will talk about, last thing that I want to talk about, that it's everybody's cry, everybody's desire. If you want to take the name of Taslima Nasrin, she has talked about Tobu Firbo. She has written a poem and she has mentioned, Ami Firbo, Jodi Manusher Shorir na hoyeo firte pari, Pakhi hoye firbo. That's the claim, that's a desire, earnest desire. If you read Jivanananda, he also says the same line in his famous poem, Abar ashibo phire dhan shiritir tire ei banglaয়. Same. How can we exclude Rabindranath Tagore from the list? If you read his poem Janmantar, he also repeats the same. Ami ছেড়েই দিতে রাজি আছি পরের জন্মে পায়ের, the last line of the stanza says, পরের জন্মে পায়রে হতে যদি ব্রজের রাখাল বালক তবে নিজের হাতে নিভিয়ে দেব সুসভ্যতার আলোক. He wants to come back, if not possible in this life, maybe in the next life. It's a prayer to God. He's praying. So there is always a clash between city and village, culture and nature. This is not the end of the list. Ramayana, Mahabharata, these epics are full with this idea. Ram goes back to forest in Valkand and he comes back again in Ayodhya. Again he goes to forest and comes back after 14 years, but ultimately it is his realization that forest is horrible, it's terrible, but still it's better because in forest there is no pretension. There is no pretension. There is no word called jealousy. These words are not present. So it's the realization of Ram. Who are we? Being a God, he has felt the difference so tangibly, so palpably, that there is a huge difference between city and village. And the transition between city and village will be very much vivid in your mind if you can have your own experience. Thank you very much. I hope I took you in different parts of the references. If you have any problem, any question, please jot down those questions. When time permits, we will solve those problems. Thank you very much.